That's an empty chair. Can they hear me?
Yes, they can.
Oh, my goodness.
Good evening. Technical stuff is still weird. There they are. Hide and seek.
Oh, my gosh.
This week, Carson Drake makes friends. TW3 dives out of the ring and lands on his feet.
That was crazy.
Will Austin makes friends. And the Revolution and OVW locker room make peace. But which members of the Revolution are still hiding in the OVW locker room? We want to hear from you, OVW Nation. Welcome to OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Tiny Bryan, your producer, announcer, and voice of the chat room. And now, please welcome the OVW Podcast broadcast team.
Welcome. Thank you guys for joining us this evening. My name is Jack Minogues. This is episode 9 of the OVW Fan Zone Live.
I'm Brian Hines. How you doing tonight?
Tonight we are getting into all the chilling implications after last week's OVW Rise.
Then we ask, does this meet the standard of OVW Rush Division champion Buzz Backland?
And we have that this week for sure.
Yes.
Plus, we've got supersized predictions, your questions and comments here. Leave all of your questions, comments in the chat. Tiny Brian is, of course, Brian Hines. He's the voice of the chat.
That is correct. He is.
And
I'm right here. And
and
I'm just getting in the chat right now.
so any questions, comments, anything you guys want to know, want to ask us, anything you guys think about what has happened or what could happen in OVW, please leave that in the chat. We'll be addressing that.
And be sure to tag us at OVW Podcast in
Yes,
the chat.
definitely. Makes it a lot
That makes
easier
it
for us
easy
to
for me
see.
to find it,
yes.
But the easiest thing for us to see is a super chat that goes straight to the top.
That is correct.
All right. So, hot topics, Brian Hines. Hot
A
topics.
new thing I've started putting into the notes for you. Just little things we should probably keep up with.
I won't make the same joke I made last week, but
Yeah.
it was a good one. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for it.
So, hot topics. What is up with the OVW Administrative Board?
That was one of the most bizarre kind of segments in OVW in a long time.
Yeah.
Kind of out of nowhere. I mean, it makes sense that there's going to be a governing body
Of course, yeah.
of some sort beyond Al. You know, has to be decisions that are made and et cetera, et cetera. But when that face kind of pops up on screen, it's the only thing you see on screen. It's kind of disorienting. It was a really strange experience.
It felt like it should have been what they were shooting for was the old segments from the 80s with Jack Tunney. From
Okay,
the WWE.
yeah.
But it kind of. Have you ever seen UHF, the movie UHF?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So,
Used to play on Comedy Central all the time.
yeah, there's a spot in there. I think it's at the Spatula City commercial where they've got that guy at the desk and he's just like deadpan reading, and it just kind of gets awkward, and then they cut back to the commercial. Kind of reminded me of that.
I noted
Spatula City.
I noted on our podcast this past week, the OVW Podcast, wherever you find your podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling.
That's right.
That's one. That it was kind of dystopian and kind of like Big Brother-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be watching Mr. Snow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very war is peace, you know.
Crixus is champion.
Crixus is champion. Yeah, it was very strange. But I wonder if it was and we know Al. We've had him on the show. We've been lucky enough to hang out with him personally. He doesn't do things just for one day.
Right.
I wonder what the future of this is, because very few things in OVW are just singular storytelling devices.
Well, one of the things I noticed about this segment was the NWA was also named as falling under that umbrella of.
Yeah, it made it sound like the National Heavyweight Championship what made you the number one contender, or the heavyweight
yeah,
makes you number one contender to the NWA.
Correct.
22 pounds of gold.
That's been established.
Yeah.
That's been established in the past.
But the fact that it was mentioned in this segment, I feel like is of significance that will come into play later. And that made me think about something else that we'll circle back around to later on. But, yeah, that was...
kind of much like OVW Overdrive's reestablishment of the hierarchy of belts in that universe. This kind of served as a story device, plot telling device to reestablish the hierarchy of belts across intermingled wrestling territories, right? Intermingled wrestling companies. So
that would be a great bigger federation, the Intermingled Wrestling Territories?
It's sounds like it's for swingers.
I guess it would be all intergender matches in that fed.
Yeah. A lot of keys in the fishbowl on a
It does kind of have a pervy kind of vibe to it. The intermingled.
Yeah, a lot of the fans are doing this the whole time. A lot of the fans are just rubbing their hands and watching the whole time.
They're scratching their heads.
It's a sleazy affair altogether. So Luke and Cal were the main event of this past Thursday's action at the Davis Arena, and it's been a long time coming to see these guys kind of get reunified. I think these are two of the most fully formed wrestlers that you have in OVW. It was a pleasure to see them wrestle out their differences. I'm glad that it ended the way that it did, with them kind of being able to move past their transgressions, kind of to help save the integrity of the company, which is essentially the storyline that we're telling right now.
Yeah, and I'm with you. When we talked about it last week, that was one of the questions, and I really hoped that was how this was going to shake out. Because what's so funny about peace, love, and understanding? Seriously.
I would have made
I'm sure Crixus could tell us what's so funny about it.
I'm sure he probably could. And in the fan zone, I bet he probably will.
I would have made it 10 minutes longer, though. Would have had that match go on 10 minutes longer. Those guys deserved that 25-minute showpiece match.
It's still an excellent match.
No, I'm not taking away from it. It's that, if anything, you leave them wanting more, and they left me wanting more. So
that was the only part of this week's episode I didn't get a chance to see.
You don't have to admit it yet.
I'm going to go back and watch it.
You have to.
It was like 1:30 in the morning last night, and I got through everything, but I really wanted to sit down and give that the attention that it deserved. And I was just tired. We were coming in early to work today, and I wanted to save that as something to watch after the show tonight, so I can be like, damn, that really was a good match.
How was your vacation? Quickly.
It was great. Came back feeling great. Spent time with the family in Gatlinburg. I
got some secondhand Smoky Mountains.
We stopped at Buc-ee's, so now I understand what Buc-ee's is, and the brisket.
It's an astonishing place. Really,
the brisket song is beautiful. The most fun thing I did was indoor snow tubing, and now I know for a fact that my mom is a better cook than a TV chef.
Okay.
What was your mom's quickly? I'm going to start saying that, too, all the time.
I'm sorry,
Quickly. What was your mom's best meal?
Is she still alive?
No, yeah, but during this vacation stay. During this vacation stay.
Oh, this vacation stay. Oh, God, it was so good. We'll talk about that off mic.
Let him think about it.
Okay.
No, I already know what I want to say. I just don't know whether I'll get in trouble for saying it.
Now I'm very curious. Kind of through that OVW administrative board, the Revolution gets a set of rules that they have to follow, and they're going to be treated just like any other wrestler on the OVW roster if they want to continue to work at Ohio Valley Wrestling. I think that that's an interesting step in that storyline, and I want to see how that gets abused, obviously, because we're in wrestling. Air conditioning is back. Ticket rollback is still going on. Next Tuesday, July 2nd, is the free show, Fan Appreciation Night. Be sure you take all of your family and friends. One of my friends is actually going for the first time to that Tuesday night free show on July 2nd.
And then the following Thursday is OVW 1300. So
that's July 11th.
Yes.
July 11th.
Yes.
I think that's the following Thursday, though.
7-11, yep.
And then we're gonna do kind of the thing that got us into this whole world, right? Is the wrestlers recap show.
Yes.
And we're gonna be bringing that back in the form of something a little different.
We are going to be revisiting it, and it will be wrestlers watching wrestlers with wrestlers, podcasters watching wrestlers with wrestlers.
Ooh,
we'll just stick with wrestlers watching wrestlers.
What he said.
Yeah, no, I kind of like podcasters watching wrestlers with wrestlers, but we can talk about that off mic.
Whatever. What does everybody want?
documentary recap podcasts.
Yes, exactly.
Tour update.
All right.
So the tour update, OVW pay-per-view Independence Rage at Davis Arena this Saturday, June 29th, 2024. Cheswick, Pennsylvania, August 10th. Cincinnati, Ohio has been rescheduled for August 16th. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, August 18th. OVW pay-per-view OVW Fight Night at Appalachian Wireless Center in Pikeville, Kentucky, August 31st.
Found a spot for an after party there.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
DM us.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, there will be an after party with the podcast. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
Picks first, though.
Yeah.
Or it didn't happen. And finally, Des Plaines, Illinois on September 7th,
That wasn't what I was
2024.
talking about.
Okay, then. All tickets for any OVW event are available at ovwtix.com.
And Tiny Brian, you posted a question to our social medias. Can you tell us about that question and any results we might have?
Last week, we asked if Doug Basham, and I did misspell Basham in that post, as our heavyweight champion was so kind to laughingly remind me.
Yeah, he sure did.
He's getting all over the podcast team this
He
past
really
week.
is. But do you think Doug Basham is actually involved with Crixus and the Revolution, which got that great graphic of Prince and the Revolution? It is 70% yes among the fan zone.
That is not what I would have thought where the fans were at.
I am not surprised at all. And I got to thinking about that, too, last night. For example, when Tony Gunn was assaulted and then came out and turned on the OVW locker room, he ripped that bandage right off. There was nothing there.
So we'll get into that.
We got a little bit of a MacGuffin going on here.
Yeah,
yeah, we'll get to that. I took some time off. I had a lot of time to think. So yeah, I'm ready.
And we have a new question this week.
Is how will you watch OVW Independence Rage this Saturday, June 29th? Will you be live at Davis Arena? Will you be live on pay-per-view? Will you watch it later on video on demand? Or you're not sure yet?
I'm the last one. I'm D.
You're never sure.
Not sure yet.
All right, so where are we headed to now, gentlemen?
Well, so I actually wasn't here for this. You guys were here for this.
Yeah, you were running late that day, but we
on time for me.
Sure.
Fashionably Jackmanly late.
Yeah.
What you want to set this up then, Brian?
Yeah. So Tiny Brian and I sat down with OVW champion Buzz Backland, and we asked him, since he is the American standard Buzz Backland, if these random things meet the standard. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to Fan Zone Live. I am usually not on camera, but I'm Tiny Brian here with non-Tiny Brian.
I am other Brian Hines.
Yes, he is B. Hines, and of course we are here with the American standard, you make us feel woefully underdressed. Yes. Buzz Backland, thank you for joining us on Fan Zone Live.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
So we wanted to play a little game with you, and you're the American standard. So and we love that name, by the way. We love everything you're doing is great. But so what I've got here is I've got a list of a few things, and we'll go back and forth here, and we just want to ask you if these things meet the standard. Okay. So you'll get like for instance, cutting the crust off a sandwich. Would you say that meets the standard? Does that meet the American standard, or is that
No, when I eat a slice of bread, I eat like Ezekiel bread because that's like kind of like the healthiest one you can get.
Sure.
And I make sure I get all like the carbohydrates in it because that's what fuels my energy and helps me, like perform in the ring and just in everyday life. So
sure,
I never cut the crust off my bread.
So that does not meet the standard.
Does not meet the standard.
That is good to know.
Now we're rolling. So Brian, what's our next one?
Cold pizza is better than reheating leftover pizza.
Does that meet the standard?
I personally do think that cold pizza is better. I mean, I don't personally eat pizza because, I eat a lot of more whole foods, but pizza cold, I feel like it has more flavor than warmer pizza. Personally, just my opinion.
Interesting.
That's what we're here for, is your opinion. So that meets this cold pizza being better than reheated pizza meets the standard.
Yes, and I know it's not severely dangerous, but over time, the radiation in the microwave and everything like that, so...
May as well keep it to a minimum.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a very good point that I hadn't considered, but yes, you were absolutely right.
So a little bit of a change. Summer is the best season. Does that phrase meet the standard?
I don't really like summer as the best season. My favorite season personally is fall because I like to see the leaves change and it gets just very nostalgic for me.
Strong choice.
And I don't like
You a Halloween guy? You like Halloween?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm not really big into like scary movies and stuff.
You dress up? Costumes?
Yeah, like past Halloweens I've dressed up.
Cool.
Good deal.
I think it's your turn.
All right. This one's pretty simple. Clowns.
Clowns.
Do clowns meet the standard?
Do you like clowns? Are they creepy?
They're not really creepy to me, but I wouldn't think they meet the standard because a lot of people do use them to scare little kids, and it's not good for even adults too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Starting with kids our age, there was a little movie called Poltergeist, and clowns were never funny after Poltergeist came out.
And then it came along after that.
Yeah.
And ruined it for a lot of people.
And it's just, then they were just over. So, Will Austin, does he meet the standard?
Will Austin, he tries, but he doesn't meet the standard to me. Because, we've had our back and forth thing these last few weeks, and every time I get in there, he just wants to punch, kick, beat me down. And I get in there, I want to wrestle.
Sure.
I want to, like I said on my promo last week, I want to be a professional wrestler.
Right.
And he gets in there and just wants to have a fight, and I'm not all for that. It doesn't teach, like, the kids in society and the adults and everybody else who watches OVW that this is professional wrestling.
Sure.
Let's see, where are we? Football versus soccer. Does football meet the standard over soccer, or is it
Do you
the
have a
other way
preference?
around?
Do you watch either one of these? Basically, it's a way to find out if you watch soccer. Because I know you're a younger guy. We didn't do soccer, but I know the newer generations kind of do a little soccer, and I'm just curious what you like.
I like football better.
College football, NFL, both?
I'm more like the NFL. I usually keep up with that. My favorite team is the Green Bay Packers.
Strong choice.
Interesting.
My favorite players, it's funny because all of them are not on the team anymore, but I first started out liking Clay Matthews.
Sure.
And I just like how aggressive he is on defense. And I used to play football in my youth. And
What position did you play?
I first started out as, just a defensive guard, and I played a little bit of defensive end. And then into high school, I played a little bit of receiver. But
All
Excellent.
right.
a little bit of everything.
You guys didn't have soccer, but I did.
Oh yeah, see, I'm from the back end of the mountains, so we didn't have none of that.
My dad actually brought soccer to my school.
Excellent. So did you play soccer? Did you have soccer? Do you like soccer?
I played soccer when I was really little, but I
Very
didn't.
quickly moved on to American football.
Yeah, I like the more aggressive approach, and kind of like the anarchy
Sure.
type of, you got to work together as a team to help get your guy through the line of other people to the end zone. So
No, that's a good point. It makes sense with what you're doing now.
That's
So,
true, yeah. Very much so.
Is it my go or yours?
I did football versus soccer, so the next one's you.
All right. So, does socks with sandals meet the standard?
no.
Straight, easy answer. I had a feeling.
Yeah.
That when as soon as you stepped out of your vehicle, I was like, that socks versus sandals question is out.
As good as answered.
It just doesn't look formal. Like if I go to the beach and I'm wearing socks, you're going to get sand all over it. Your socks are going to get wet. That could eventually cause fungus in your feet if you ever put on actual shoes after that. So it's just better to go barefoot whenever you're at the beach or wherever you are if you're wearing flip-flops or sandals.
Speaking of beach versus water park, does the beach meet the standard more than a water park, or does a water park meet the standard?
You have one day for some watery fun. Are you going to the beach or are you going to the water park?
I personally like the slides and everything at the water park.
I agree. I'm
Kinda
a lazy river guy, but I like a good slide
Sure.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like the feel of adrenaline, going down all the slides and everything.
Sure.
The beach kind of doesn't really provide that, but I do I've never done surfing, but I had a boogie board one time, and I would always ride the waves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
right. And a hot dog is a sandwich. Is that statement meet the standard?
No, I don't think a hot dog's a sandwich because...
Is it a taco? What is it?
I think it's just a hot dog.
It's just a thing. It's just its own thing. It's just
its own entity.
Be happy with who you are, hot dog. You want to ask the last one here?
I will ask this one last one, and this is kind of important and timely. Does Tony Gunn meet the standard?
After what he did, no. Before that, I had a lot of good relationships with him because he was, my trainer for the second academy of the OVW Academy.
Yeah.
But no, he just came out of nowhere with that kill shot to Cal Hero, and I don't agree with that at all. And if there's, if they need help or anything, I'd love to help out, taking down whatever revolution's going on in OVW. Just say my name, and I'll be there to help out, just like Super Z, just like Shira and everybody coming out after the show.
Well, I think that you leave OVW in pretty good hands. Now, Buzz, your interview that you're going to do with Jackman and Brian comes out tomorrow from when this is airing on Wednesday. So that'll be out in the morning, and they'll be able to learn all kinds of things about you from that. But right now, the OVW World is right down there in that camera. Look at them and kind of tell them what you want them to know. Maybe, just talk about whatever you want to say. Just introduce yourself however you'd like. There's the OVW. Talk to them.
Well, if you guys didn't already know, I'm Buzz Backland. I'm the American Standard. And I came from Prince George, Virginia. It's not a small town, but not a big town, right in the kind of the middle. But I came out to OVW 2 weeks after I graduated high school, and I just wanted to prove one thing, that people my age aren't like the stereotypes that we get, all the time. Like, some people like me are able to do other things too, like this. I wanted to come out to OVW and show people that when I dedicate something, when I put hard work into something, I can accomplish it. And that's why I became the new OVW Rush Division champion, because I put in hard work, not just at OVW, but in the gym, in my training outside of the gym, in eating what I eat, because I try to eat stuff that, gives me energy to take on everyday life and perform in that ring in front of all the fans. And
great words.
Yeah.
So it's really great to... feels like you've just got here. You've had 4 whole matches. I mean, we've seen you around Davis Arena because we're there a lot.
Yes.
So it is great to have you in the ring. It's great to have you here and great to meet you. And thanks for coming in and playing our silly game here on Fan Zone Live, Buzz.
Anytime, yeah.
We certainly appreciate it.
And we will take a break, and we will be back with probably Jackman not in this chair, or probably the whole set will be arranged differently. But we'll be back after this. Coming out. Thanks.
You're welcome. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm okay. I'm all right.
All right.
One down. Cash, I want to thank you so much for inviting us up here for this interview here to Davis Arena. Thanks for taking time to speak to my guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And I hereby give consent for a chop.
Okay.
This is number 2.
Number 2. Who was the first one you took a chop from?
I took it from Crixus, our very first interview.
Okay. You ready to take one from Cash?
Let's see. This should be an upgrade.
Okay. It probably will be an upgrade. We'll see.
Y'all pray for me.
Pray for it.
Yep.
Oh, God.
God.
Wow.
Whew. I'm okay. I'm good.
You good?
Woo. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Cash smash.
Yep. Cash smash.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
If you've ever dreamed of being part of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, make that dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, a brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
Welcome back to the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Jack Minogues.
And I'm Brian Hines.
Yes, this is Brian Hines. We haven't done this for a long time. Well, I guess we've done this for nine times.
We've done this a little over 2 months. Come on, guys.
Which am I on this camera? No, Malachi, give me my camera. We've done this 9 times. It's been a lot of fun every single time that we've done it. Can't wait to do it again. These are our prediction results. We will be going over our predictions from last week, and further in the show, we will be making predictions from next week. Before we hop into this, let's remind everybody to, if you are in the chat and you have questions or comments or complaints, concerns, requests, anything wrestling related for us, how can they find us, Brian Hines?
We are on...
By tagging...
Oh, at OVW Podcast.
And as always, Super Chats go where?
Straight to the top, baby.
No Super Chat so far tonight that I've seen, unless I missed one. So you want to barge in, you can do it. They don't have to.
It's okay.
Maybe we should rip on...
Times are hard.
The last couple times we had somebody come in and defend your honor when we kind of ripped on you a little bit. Maybe we should do that and get somebody to come and...
Hey, look, I've been called No Neck Tipster.
On our
in the chat room, the chat room. I don't know who or what that is.
That was my burner account.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
So yeah, when we switched to that, when we switched to the Backlund thing, and I'm on camera for that, someone's like, "Hey, that guy looks like No Neck Tipster," and I'm like, "I don't know who that is." So I guess I'm offended.
Word salad.
That's my favorite character from Oliver Twist. Right?
Oh, yeah.
The no-neck tipster, the et cetera, et cetera.
Please, sir, I want some more.
All right.
I was not expecting classic literature to be that reference. So
expect the unexpected.
There's the, oh my gosh.
Nobody
The Artful Dodger, right?
That's it.
Yeah, the Artful Dodger.
Yeah.
He's from Oliver Twist, right? There's your history facts for the day. Okay, so let's jump into this, Tiny Brian. You're the voice of the chat room. You're the voice of reason. I guess.
am the one who keeps up with your predictions.
You are the one
that
is
you to account.
I love that. You're the one who keeps up with the predictions.
I am.
Let's hear it, baby. Let's hear it.
So let's get into the prediction results for OVW 1297. First, let's see. So nobody really said much about what they thought about the administrative board making their case. We didn't really say much about that.
Can we double back on that?
We sure can.
I don't think anyone could have predicted the administrative board looking and feeling the way that it did.
As scary and dystopian as it did.
It's weird. Just strange. Out of place from what we've seen so far.
I think I was not used to being on camera.
I think that we thought
no.
I think we thought the administrative board would have been Al.
Yeah,
and a couple of other guys, maybe Jebediah Blackhawk. The normal crew.
Somebody with tenure.
Let's say the people who I don't know
have administrated have been on the board of administration in OVW so far. No, this is it was kind of a left turn that I don't think either one of us saw coming. If you did see it coming, congratulations, and also you're lying. But so I think that we're safe from any punishment that may come as a part of these predictions because it was just such a weird left turn. We still need to figure that out. I actually, chat, I'll borrow a phrase from one of my favorite podcasts. He has to do punishment sometimes. No dirt, no lube. But if you figure out a punishment for my insanely wrong predictions, I will do it every week on this show. Put it in the chat right now.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
Going to try to find a sponsor.
No dirt, no lube.
So let's get into the matches. What were you going to say, Brian? I'm sorry.
We'll make you eat that Nashville hot chicken again because that was punishment enough.
Okay.
No, just make me watch the video. That's punishment enough.
First match we predicted last week was Tusks and Chains versus Tony Evans and Jay De Niro. Brian and Jackman both said that Tony Evans and Jay De Niro would win. They did not.
That was a failure.
So you both take the L on the first one. We're off to a flying start.
Wait. We did mention a botched loaded baked potato glove, didn't we?
I don't have notes on it.
Well,
it's
I just mentioned
possible.
a botched baked potato.
Because
I was trying to make a joke, and then I lost it. Go on. No, we both got it wrong. From a booking standpoint, I didn't see the point of having the exact same match 2 weeks in a row with not splitting it 50-50. And, I'm not an advocate of 50-50 booking, but in this situation, I did not see why we weren't splitting it 50-50.
That's kind of how I figured it was going to go, yeah.
All right. And then we have Luke Curtis versus Cal Hero. We have Brian predicting correctly Luke Curtis would take the victory, while Jackman predicted a no decision. You expected the masked men to run in. Honestly, if you'd have made me predict, unfortunately, according to the terms of my contract, I do not make official predictions.
You signed a contract?
Anyway.
I suspect that PJ Jones is somewhere.
I've got him on retainer.
In the decision-making.
I thought I smelled cheap cologne around here earlier.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I would have probably agreed with you that the masked men were going to interrupt that, but instead we got a banger of a match. Probably my favorite match of the year so far.
Can I say something kind of knowing the outcome of this match?
I mean, I gave you a mic.
I still would probably have gone with a no decision, but I would have had it be that 10 minutes we were talking about. Would have added that and would have had it go to a time limit draw, baby.
They never, OVW matches, I don't think there's even any rule for a time limit except for special stipulations.
This would have been the perfect moment to bring out the stipulation of a time limit draw.
That's more of an elite thing these days.
You wonder why I have such an affection for it.
Yeah.
But the time limit draw thing was there under Cody. The time limit draw thing is not something that those guys do a lot of anymore, and the reason that they do it anymore is because they're trying to echo back to the golden age where Cody was heavily involved in creative. Cody is a product of Ohio Valley Wrestling, has name-checked Al Snow 1,000 times on live television on some of the biggest networks in the world.
That's right.
Let's do a time. I didn't want to see a winner here, I guess is what I'm saying. I wanted to see some equality because I think that this could have been the moment Cal takes the step from lower card titles to the main title scenes. And no better guy than Luke Curtis, no better example than finding respect through each other to kind of make that transition.
Well, some of that happened with what we got.
Absolutely. But nothing, a win is a win and a loss is a loss. And most of the time it doesn't matter, but it kind of mattered here, which is why I would have pivoted to if you wanted to tell the story that they told, a time limit draw.
Well, I'd love to see them do more time limit draws. Those are certainly good matches.
If I had the OVW 2K24 video game, which I guess is I will be able to do at some point soon. But I would have made this a Iron Man match, Falls Count Anywhere Iron Man match, Brett and Sean style.
That would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into some women's action here. The first of the Pick Your Poison matches, which pitted Dream Girl Ellie. It's actually the second one that's shown, but it's the first one we listed. Mm-hmm. Dream Girl Ellie versus Tiffany Nieves. You both predicted Tiffany Nieves as the winner there, so you both take the L on that one.
Not a good week for us.
And Jackman, you specifically said that Leela Feist would interfere with this match.
I said a lot.
And
I said a lot of
Feist
stuff.
Was not in the Commonwealth of Kentucky on that night,
however,
as far as I can tell.
I will tell you, I will remind you that You predicted the Primal Scream that night.
Yeah.
You said 2 weeks. You said, because I was really hoping it was going to be the week before. It didn't happen. You said it'll be 2 weeks. Sure enough, she's wearing the classic gear, and we get the Primal Scream. But those 3 slaps in the beginning.
I think what it comes down to is that, I kind of got the reputation for being the mouthy one, as Luke Curtis put it early on. So I've tried to bring that onto this podcast. And once we start this penalization system where I get punished for the dumb things I say, I have a feeling that I'll be very concise in my predictions.
We're not quite to the point of punishing you for wrong decisions yet. I haven't quite worked out a method to do that.
But
maybe
listen,
someday we'll
was the
punish you.
booking, I'll ask you this, was the booking not tight? Was the booking not tight? Leela Feist comes in, she keeps calling her Layla for like 6 weeks. Like, would that not be like would that not be in character?
Yeah, I could see where you're coming from on that. I didn't hate the idea at all.
Yeah, but give me a job.
All right,
give me
let's
a pin.
do the other half of the Pick Your Poison with Layla Gray versus Freya the Slayer.
Ooh.
And in this one, you both predicted correctly that Freya the Slayer would win, so you take the dub there. Good job, gentlemen.
Well, and to tell you how inconsistent I am, I said the exact opposite thing on our podcast, the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of OVW, wherever you get your podcasts.
That's why predictions only count when they're done on this show in this segment.
Yeah, those predictions are unofficial.
Yes, those are thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
It's like you're thinking with the brand.
I'm not just a sharp-dressed, handsome
Sharp-dressed man.
Then we have Buzz Backland versus Maximo Suave. You two made the easy guess of the night that Buzz Backland would win that bout.
Hey, we got that one.
Maximo's no slouch.
No.
No,
but he is
I have
in a
feeling.
losing mode with OVW for the most part right now. He's putting people over.
Well, and it's a rock and a hard place with Buzz Backland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Guy's on fire.
And
he meets the standard, as you saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian, you did predict that Will would be directly involved in this match. He would interfere, which, of course, he did not. And, Jackman, you said if he interferes that Maximo would win. He didn't interfere, so that's just moot. But you did get your interference prediction wrong. I don't know what that means, but it's just what happened.
Yeah. A lot of, we're going to make, this should be very simple. Wrestling predictions should be very simple. I'm going to make it very complicated.
That's what we're here to do, is to make the simple complicated.
Yeah.
The OVW Podcast, OVW Fan Zone Live.
Where fans talk back. We gotta get that over.
Yeah.
All right.
Malachi, where's my camera? The OVW Fan Zone, where fans talk back. Thank you.
What he said.
So we did add a second camera this evening. You guys have talked about it a little in chat, but Jackman is a little drunk with power, but we'll figure it out.
Well, or just, never mind.
All right, so let's get into the in action. We had Will Austin in action. Jackman, you said he would lose. He won.
He did.
We had Carson Drake in action. Both of you said he would win. He lost.
Wrong decision.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beaches and Cream were in
Well,
action.
no, because he was teamed up on the babyface side. That was the right decision.
Yeah.
If it was a singles, he should have won.
I was kind of surprised to see that, and I was really surprised to see the cape.
Surprised, but did you like it?
I did.
Oh, of course,
I'm
yeah.
sad to say. It kind of leaves a foul taste in my mouth to say it, but I'm kind of enjoying. I cannot wait for Carson to swerve back to a full heel because it's making me feel uncomfortable about myself to like him. But he's definitely making a good effort at being this baby face.
Yeah.
Until next Saturday.
I'm digging it, bro. I'm digging it. No, I let it go. Let this kind of like man-child wandering his way toward morality go forever. Those are the kind of wrestling stories that I like.
All right, so we had Beaches and Cream. Jackman said they won, and they did win. Great
did.
job.
Huzzah.
Somehow I got one. Somehow I got the prediction wrong on one. I don't know.
Who would have thought that Beaches and Cream was going to team up with Will Austin? I mean,
not me. Not
no.
I. Said the cat.
Yeah. So Super Z and Shira. Jackman said they would win, and of course they did not pull that out because they were paired with Carson this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's everything we predicted. Pretty good, all in all. A couple slip ups, but pretty good, gentlemen, all in all. Now we're going to get into tomorrow.
Okay.
Then I'm going to ask you to stretch your muscles a little further and predict OVW Independence Rage on Saturday.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of which, this is a good time chat room. Next Wednesday will be a little bit of a special episode in that we will be doing a breakdown of OVW Independence Rage right here on FanZone Live. So it'll be similar to how we did that breakdown an episode of Rise on our podcast, but instead we'll be doing right here for you in the fan zone. So be sure to tune in for that.
That'll be fun.
So let's move along here.
Sorry for banging and clanging all over the place.
It just adds depth.
I'm glad you did, because that reminds me that I have a lovely beverage here as well.
A rubbery
beverage.
It's rubbery.
It's rubbery. Okay. So first we have let's start with what's going to probably be our main event tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
It is Cal Hero, media champion Cal Hero, Luke Curtis, the certified Luke Curtis, the veteran Jack Vaughn versus Shotgun Tony Gunn, the EC3 and Crixus with Doug Basham as special guest referee. Brian Hines, how do you see it?
So this goes back to what we were talking about earlier in the last poll that we had about Doug Basham, and is he part of the
Yes, this is where we can
Revolution?
kind of circle back and talk about that a little more.
So I was watching last night, and I got to thinking it is a very good possibility that he is part of the Revolution. I feel like the
chat room will point out that about 5 or 6 years ago, he actually had a faction called, wait for it, the Revolution.
Right. I've heard several people say that. When we were at Davis Arena last time, a lot of people speculated that he was in there, and
absolutely,
I think
most of the crowd.
I think they're on to something, and here's why I think that. What I was talking about Tony Gunn early, he was bloodied, and then he came out and ripped the bandage off. When Cal Hero was feuding with Adam Revolver, those bandages stayed on for weeks because of all the damage that was done to him. But
that's true.
Basham
was
bloodied.
I don't hate that. In the
previous
universe, we know the way that medical stuff is treated, right? Yeah. No, I love that.
But
actually.
next week,
Doug was pretty faced and non-bandaged the very next week.
Exactly.
You're not wrong about that.
Isn't it weird how that happens?
Mm-hmm.
So also in the board segment with Cy Rosenberg, the guy who was
I didn't get his name.
I didn't either.
The awkward man in the window.
Right. That made me think about the first time we saw the Masked Men, and
which would have been Nightmare Rumble. Which was back in January. Defending EC3.
January.
They came out and everybody thought it was
the faction, or what were the Overmen? They were
right.
Now they're Overmen, but then they were Overmen.
And then the Overmen came out.
Thank God it's over, man.
Yeah. Amen to that. But it just seems like there's something there that we've maybe forgotten about or overlooked, because wrestling fans have short attention spans sometimes, and I feel like there's a tie-in. I mean, we still don't know who the taller masked man was.
So who you got for winner? Let's actually put a pin on this.
Gunn, EC3, and Crixus. And Doug Basham turns in the middle of the match.
That was what I was going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to say that Doug turns and that he helps them to get the win.
Yes.
All right.
I hope I'm wrong, but I suspect I'm not.
In the interest of time, I'll agree.
You agree on both those points?
Yes.
Anything? I mean, feel free to make us if you have another point to make.
No, let's because I saw something that I want to talk about actually on here.
So then we have a match that is interesting. One singles action, Super Z and Omar Amir.
Omar is going to bully that poor guy.
Yeah, I would love to say Super Z is going to come out on top here, but when it comes to shady, underhanded things, Omar Amir is in a category of his own as far as
so I'm hearing
stuff.
I'm hearing J and B both predict Omar.
I think so, yeah.
All right.
Jamin Olavencia.
Yeah, we can only sing it. We can't say it. Jamin Olavencia, well, I guess I can. Is back in an OVW ring, back in action after years away. and he is facing the star of the show, Star Rider. Not much scouting done yet on Jamin. What do you guys think?
I don't think they would bring this guy in to lose his first match, especially if he's in the biggest storyline they have going now.
That's a firm win for me.
All right, so those are head answers. Are you? What does the heart tell you?
He's got. Hart says he's got to come out and look killer.
Yeah.
And there's nobody better. Few people better.
So you think Star is
one
the
of the
perfect
best
person
at
to
it.
help him out at this?
One of the best at what I think needs to be achieved with Jamin Olivencia tomorrow is Star Rider.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have a tag team mystery partner match. That means Layla Gray will take on Tiffany Nieves in a tag team bout, and each of them neither of them know who their partner will be, presumably until the match starts. So I need to get a who's going to win and who's your prediction for the mystery partner. Maybe Leela Foss, Jackman? You've been on about her.
I do like Leela Feist for Tiffany Nieves.
All right.
Layla Gray? Freya the Slayer.
Puts her even more into that face camp.
Yep.
And who do we got as a win, Jackman?
A cheating Tiffany with a new heel version of Leela Feist.
All right. So we'll put that there. Brian, your thoughts on a victory and mystery partners?
I agree. It's probably going to be by underhanded means, but Tiffany and mystery partner.
Feel free to just agree with Jackman if you think that's a reasonable notion, or you don't have to guess. I mean, if you don't have a good
Layla
thought.
Gray. I think it'll be either be Dream Girl Ellie or Sophia Rose.
Not bad choices.
Okay, not a bad idea.
Tiffany's mystery partner. I think it's going to be a heel turn that we don't see coming. Do I think it's necessarily Leela Feist? Not entirely sure.
So you think there will be some sort of a heel turn in her mystery partner, but we don't know exactly
We're
who
getting
that's
swerved, bro.
You know what? Freya.
You think Freya's
You think
ready to
Freya's
heel turn?
Tiffany's partner?
No. Yeah, I think Freya could end up being Tiffany's partner because I feel like there's somebody in the OVW locker room who's secretly working for the Revolution on the in the women's division.
That's something we've talked about off mic.
And
This is something you've been nagging at.
I have reasons to believe, based on some of the things I've seen, that could very well be the case. I hope I'm wrong.
I have very carefully.
Only time will tell.
I have very carefully in our notes always referred to the masked faction rather than the masked men, wanting to leave space for one of them to have be a women's competitor, and I think that would be neat.
Right.
Well, and I mean, in the wider wrestling world, Rhea Ripley has really kind of blown off the doors of what a woman can look like in a dominating faction.
And who do you have winning this match, Brian?
I think the shock value, it's still going to be Tiffany and mystery partner.
Okay, so we are agreeing on Tiffany Nieves.
So we'll say Carson Drake on the next one, right? Versus crooked politician Cody Jacobs. It's 2024. Crooked politicians got to lose one way or the other. So we're gonna say take Carson Drake.
Probably the only place they get to lose this year.
Right behind you. You're on the same page.
Say that again now.
Carson Drake over crooked politician Cody Jacobs tomorrow.
First match in, I don't know.
He's been around before.
It's an election year.
This is really the battle of the punch bowl faces.
I thought you said punch bowl faces.
Oh,
I
no.
did too.
You want to punch bowl faces? Yeah, you want to dunk their face in a punch bowl until they can barely breathe. These
Turds
guys.
in the punch bowl.
Yeah, these guys.
Exactly.
Will Austin versus Justin Davis. Will Austin, right?
Yes.
Beef and Dalton McKenzie versus Boy Toy Troy Austin and Prime Jackson. We love Prime Jackson. We love Boy Toy Troy for that matter.
Yeah, I would love for them to get the win on this, but being that Beef and Dalton McKenzie,
Not in a place to lose.
not in a place to lose.
So that's agreement, consensus on that?
Correct. I think in Orion and Brandon Lee versus Dustin Jackson and
Okay,
Jake
hang
Wallace.
on. You guys are I appreciate we're trying to get the show in, but you guys are running ahead of me. Carson Drake versus Cody Jacobs. Brian, your pick.
Carson.
Well, let him speak for himself.
Yeah.
Okay. And Will Austin versus Justice Davis. Jackman, your pick.
Will Austin.
Brian, your pick.
Given the current storylines, yes.
All right.
This is why I tried to run through it fast, because I knew we all had the same picks.
That's fine. I just got to get it officially documented. And you've got Beef and Dalton winning out over our good buddies Dustin Jackson and Jake Lawless. Right?
No, Ryan and Brandon
no.
Lee versus Dustin Jackson, Jake Lawless.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now who's getting ahead of themselves?
I apologize.
No, Dustin Jackson, Jake Lawless strong into the pay-per-view. They're going to take the victory at the pay-per-view. Our great interview, our very, very fun interview. I don't know, fun's not even the right word, is it, Beyond?
It was
fun. It was a fun time to hang out with him.
It was a fun time. It was a very enjoyable talk that we had with him, and I'm thankful that he was able to come join us yesterday. We're still on this camera. We're not doing that number there. No, okay.
We go back and forth, but okay. He just switched it, so now you're.
Yeah, no. Our interview.
You guys love that way
our
too
interview
much.
with our interview with Dustin Jackson hits our feed tomorrow. I think it's more important than ever. Am I still on this camera?
Yes.
I think it's more important than ever for Dustin Jackson and Flawless Jake Lawless to take the victory tomorrow.
Going into the pay-per-view, yes.
And I think that they are the right choice for the pay-per-view, to win at the pay-per-view. Kind of takes Tustin Chains out of their area, and it allows the tag team titles to breathe in a whole different space as well.
All right.
Did that look good, Malachi? Okay, all right, baby. We're moving on up in the world.
All right, so what did we? So we vote. We said Dalton and Beef beat Boy Toy Troy. What did we have about Orion and Brandon Lee versus Dustin and Jake? We want
Dustin and Jake won. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
both of you.
Agree.
Yep.
Just making sure. You get passionate, and I need to nail down these predictions so I can nail you later.
Well, the good thing is you can always go back and watch this again.
If only there was
on
a place
YouTube.
where you could find this on YouTube in perpetuity.
That is true.
Oh, wait,
All
it's
right.
on OVW TV. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, and thank you,
on the OVW
for letting
Fan
us
Zone.
do this, by the way.
And let me, while we catch up here, this is the OVW Fan Zone Live. This is where
Fans talk back.
And my name is Jack Minogues.
I'm Brian Hines.
And thank you guys so much for joining us. Tiny Brian, producer Tiny Brian, and producer P.S. Woodard are behind the screen. We are continuing here.
All right, so there's a contract signing for both Cal Hero, Tony Gunn, and Luke Curtis, and EC3, which we're just hearing about. But for the interest of time, unless you guys have something specific you want to talk about this, it just, it'll be a big snoz.
Yeah, they're going to beat the tar out of each other, and that's how
It'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be the end of the hour two.
Yes. Finally, wrestling legend
Wait,
Tommy
wait.
Wild. Oh, I'm sorry, Brian.
I'm sorry. Go ahead and mention that part, and then I want to circle back around.
Well, let's circle.
No,
and then I'll mention it.
let's U-turn.
So I feel like you said, it's going to be a mess. I feel like the masked men, I wouldn't be surprised if they popped in. And is EC3 really going to be there? Is it going to be
Wait,
one
so
of those,
more masked men or the Revolution?
There's at least one more
There's
masked
still
man.
at least one.
That's true.
And it's last time we saw it was a taller fella
Yep.
who could be like Carson Drake size or Adam Revolver size. I don't know.
I mean, if there's an evil faction, it does seem like Adam Revolver should be a part of it.
It could very well be. I don't know. We'll just have to see. But is EC3 going to be there, or is it going to be one of those weird phone-in promos?
Who
because I know, because I was a real estate agent, he can sign documents electronically through .loop.
All right. Let's move on
Inside reference.
No real prediction there, but yes, that is a lot of things that could happen. Wrestling legend Tommy Wildfire Rich will be in a house this Thursday.
That's huge.
Getting to see a guy at this age,
Legend,
get his flowers in any way, shape, or form is always such a incredible opportunity, man.
What if he ties into the storyline with the Revolution?
That's what I was going to ask. Is he going to figure into the story somehow?
No. No. Will he probably get attacked? Yeah. But will we see him after this week? No. I guess that's what I consider factoring into the story.
Sure. Brian,
Right.
what do you think?
Given the way things have gone, I would not be surprised. They haven't come out and said why he's there. They just said he's there.
So we can clap and scream real loud.
There's got to be a specific reason to give him this specific time on this specific day before going into the pay-per-view.
So you think yes? No.
Wait, what?
What's
Is
the
he gonna
yes or no?
factor into the story?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I needed to know. And we have a super chat. The same guy.
Are they telling us to get off here?
No, the same guy who. Yeah, it's OVW. They're saying stop using their feed. No, I'm kidding.
Get off my lawn.
Itsukozuko has a $10.
Oh, that's
super
our friend.
chat.
That's our
Yes.
friend.
Oh, hello.
And he loves the Jackman cam, and you're on it now.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
And while I have you here, if we could, no, just kidding.
No. While we have you there, you can't. So thank you for that super chat. We love you very much. Let's move on now to OVW Independence Rage.
Oh, Lord.
we gotta-
I am no AJ McKay. All right.
Who is really?
No, only
Minch.
only him.
He's a Minch, really.
He's a Minch. Let's start with the Women's Championship. Layla Gray versus Tiffany Nieves. Jackman, who you got?
Tiffany.
All right. Brian.
My heart says Layla. My head says Tiffany. And if that's the case, we need to get her back on for an interview.
Listen,
Again,
she's the
because-
first Puerto Rican women's champion. We know this.
Yeah.
So you're going with Tiffany as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure I heard you right.
And I bet if we ask her if she'll come back, she'll say, I'll do it again.
Yeah, she's
I'll do it
already said
again.
that. Yeah. Well, we're going to have her back. I've just got to I have to get all the
She beat
breakables out of
Cancer's
the
ass. She'll
studio.
beat anybody else's ass.
Yeah,
we know this.
Yeah, we need to get the breakables
We know
out of the
this.
studio. You need like a suit of armor or some kind of protective
I want one
barrier.
of those like suits when on Fear Factor when they have to run away from the dogs.
Yeah, the dog box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
One of
Tony
them.
Gunn versus OVW Media Champion Cal Hero for the belt. Brian, who you got?
Heart says Cal.
Sure.
Um,
What does head say? And which one are you listening to?
And what does everybody
head
want?
says Tony Gunn with interference from the Revolution.
Is that what we're going with?
I think that's what I'm going with.
All right. Jackman. Gunn versus Hero.
So sometimes in my normal life, I get sick to my stomach when I can't make a decision. And I'm not quite there with this whole thing yet, but I'm getting a little nauseous. On our regular show a couple days ago, even I said that I thought Tony Gunn would be taking a step back by winning. I think he's got to win, actually. As
Well, the
we sit here 24 hours away, I think he's got to win.
All right. So we have both of you on Tony Gunn. Beaches and Cream versus Super Z and Shira. Brian or Jackman, it's your turn. Who you got?
Super Z and Shearer.
That's the crowd favorite idea.
I think that Beaches and Cream are kind of Tweedledee and Tweedledum at this point to a certain extent.
So, Brian, your thoughts?
Super Z and Shira.
Super Z and Shira. Look at that. You guys are so far there's been no dissension in the Independence Rage.
Super Z and Shira-listic expialidocious.
So Luke Curtis challenging EC3 for the OVW National Heavyweight Championship. Brian, who you got?
Certified, baby.
All right. Is that a head or a heart choice?
It's the right choice.
I love the confidence. Jackman.
Can I ask a question amongst the two of you? real
I don't know.
quick?
Can you?
The Council of Brians awaits your question.
Is EC3 out of the company next week?
If he loses, probably.
So, but that's why I'm asking that. That's why I'm asking it that way.
I mean, you can use that as the guide to label your prediction. If you think EC3's done with OVW, then let's say he loses.
I think it's time.
I don't
time.
disagree, but I thought it was time in January.
So did all of us.
Agreed. I thought it was time.
So
but
is that a head or a heart choice? Feels like a heart.
Heart choice.
That's fine to listen to the heart. I just want you to understand what you're doing.
we're not signing a loan to get like a car.
No.
I already cut my palm for a blood pact. What do you mean?
Okay. I'm not sure that Al Snow
Just
is
kidding.
really...
Just kidding.
I
noticed
do
he didn't show us
have,
the other palm.
and I mean, I don't think EC3 is going anywhere. I mean, with the OVW board referencing the NWA in the beginning and the Revolution being the main story right now, I feel like there's going to be some crossover with the NWA. So I don't feel like he's going to.
If you really want to get, I guess, to the heart of the matter, if Luke wins, he can challenge for the big belt.
Right.
So
what
I
do you think?
mean,
Is it Luke or Jack? Or is it Luke or EC3?
I think it's Luke either way.
All right. Look at that. You guys have no splits all the way down to the last match we know for certain.
This is actually also, I don't think this is a coincidence. We work together. I don't think that's, but this is definitely the most amount of time we've spent around each other at work too. So I think we're just like,
you've synchronized.
Yeah. Today we hit our myriads at the same time.
I see. All right. Last match we know, Tusks and Chains versus Dustin Jackson and Jake Lawless for the OVW Tag Championship. Jackman, I don't know.
You guys know who I'm taking. You guys know who I'm taking. Dustin Jackson, Jake Lawless.
Absolutely. You have been saying it, that you've been saying that Tusks and Chains would lose before we knew who they were taking on.
Even before they were the number one contenders, I said they should be the next champions.
Brian, you agree with him?
I mean, you can tell right here, I've got love for Dustin Chains, but I don't think it's going to be their night.
All right. Look at that. What a simpatico. So you guys are either going to party together or weep together when we talk about the Independence Race predictions.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
So, guys, let's talk about that. We're going to go real quickly and go to a break. When we come back from this last break, we have several questions from the fans. We'll get to very
Perfect. Love it. Thank you, guys.
But we are running a little long, so why don't you tell us very quickly about the Dustin Jackson interview you did yesterday that'll be out tomorrow.
Somebody told us good luck, basically, with the Dustin Jackson interview. And I think we can sit here, both of us, and say we didn't know what to expect out of Dustin Jackson.
No.
Either.
Not a lot of contact with him for us.
Not a lot of contact. Haven't seen him a lot on microphone. Got the pleasure to see him on commentary recently. But, I knew a little bit about his story. And we learned a lot more. We learned stuff.
Did.
This was one of the most satisfying interviews, at least for me. I don't want to speak for you. This is one of the most satisfying interviews I've done throughout this entire thing. And it's a different interview, and it went to places I didn't expect it to go. And it went, we talked about stuff that I don't even necessarily tap into as a person.
Yeah.
But it was so refreshing to have someone
Earnest.
to be able to sit down like that with somebody.
It was a good mix of wrestling and just life in general for me.
Yeah.
And I got to hand it to Dustin Jackson. He is the sharpest dressed person we have had live on camera in maybe ever. He looked sharp.
I don't know. Layla has always come in with the best
sure.
like girl
Best
group
male.
90s.
Best dressed guy.
No, he was.
He looked sharp.
It was a supreme pleasure to conduct that interview, and I hope that he doesn't.
We are running long. So
I hope that he doesn't mind us saying that we didn't know what to expect, but what we got was not more than we could have expected, but it surpassed even our greatest expectations. So thank you.
So we'll be right back with your questions. And in the meantime, enjoy this quick video between Brian Hines and Dustin Jackson. Just a little hint of what you get tomorrow.
Hey, folks, it's B. Hines, and I'm here with half of the number one contenders for the OVW Tag Team Champions, Dustin Jackson.
Yep.
So you grew up in Louisville.
I did.
But you are a UK fan. That's right. Do you have any predictions for this coming basketball season? I know that they've got a new coach.
Yep.
Do you have any expectations out of him?
I think Mark Pope's going to be a great head coach. I'm just curious to see what happens. He has a lot of good transfers that are coming into the program, so I'm just really honestly curious to see what happens. I hope the best for him. My hope is national championship always, but.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Just about everybody in Kentucky will tell you that
knows
too. What are your thoughts on U of L's men's basketball program and what you think that might happen with them this year?
Although I don't like Louisville, I think they'll be a good team as well. Pat Kelsey, he comes from a strong pedigree. He's done a lot of good things at Charleston. He has also a lot of good transfers coming in. So I think both teams will be good, and maybe the rivalry will be a little bit rejuvenated.
A high tide raises all boats.
Exactly.
Do you still hate Leitner?
I still hate Leitner.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
If you've ever dreamed of being part of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, make that dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
To all of the loyal fans of OVW, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
Welcome back to the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. We are on our final segment. My name is Jack Minogues.
I'm Brian Hines, as always.
We've got Tiny Brian.
I've got a few questions here.
Perfect. These are questions from the chat.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining the chat this evening.
Yes, thanks so much.
I tied my shoelaces, by the way. Thank you for that safety concern, Mel.
Safety first.
So Wendy asked, will we be in the house tomorrow, Saturday, or Tuesday?
Us as a unit?
Yes, as a unit.
So
that comes down to Brian, because my car is non-functional right now. So are you driving to, not to put you on a spot on international video?
No.
International?
There's no problem.
It goes all over
I thought
the
it was just Louisville, Lexington, and Pikeville that watched.
No, my squad is
Wisconsin.
international. I got people watching all over the place.
Oh. Whoa.
I'm going to Sage things because I had some issues with my car previously, but they have all been taken care of so far. Knock on wood. Yeah.
So we are.
We're
the official
going
answer
to attempt.
is yes. We're going to make the attempt to be there tomorrow and Saturday and Tuesday. I think Tuesday we'll have a full crowd, including Victor and all of his bunch.
Oh, that
too.
makes perfect sense.
Saturday, even if your car thing doesn't work out.
Saturday one way. If I have to rent a car, we're coming up for Independence.
Saturday one way or the other.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So.
And Tuesday, because one of my very good friends who works at the plastic mill right next to Davis Arena is coming on Tuesday. So I will make it there either way.
Is that like a toy store?
No, it's just a vinyl storage area,
Oh.
and not the fun kind of vinyl.
So.
Bummer.
So, Mel, Jason, everybody who's asking, yes, we should be there tomorrow. We should be there Saturday. We should be there Tuesday.
Can't wait to see you guys.
Unforeseen circumstances, yes.
We
Can't
are
wait to see
scheduled
you
to
gus.
appear, card subject to change. Next
Perfect.
question. DJ Eric asks,
Hey, what up?
His comment is,
bum.
about 2 years ago, Doug said he created, if he created the new revolution, Tony Gunn would be one of the members.
Well,
So
that's
this
kind
is
of
just
telling now,
evidence,
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's not a question, that's a statement.
Just a comment. Like we asked, so yeah, kind of you guys have any thoughts on that? Seems like a reasonable person to bring in your evil guy faction.
I told you what I think.
DJ Eric's been coming for a long time. He knows a lot about OVW.
Yeah, I got a couple other people that I think might be part of that sooner than later, but we'll see how that goes.
Miranda asked, who do we think is, we know there's at least one masked man left. Do we think that's it? Who do we think might be under that mask? Just wanted an update on our thoughts on the masked man person, camera, TV.
Cody Rhodes. No, I don't know. I have no idea. If you had asked me, I would have never guessed the three guys that were in it that we've seen so far.
If it was Cody Rhodes,
I would have never guessed.
I kind of still think it might be Carson. And the face turn that we've seen so far is just misdirection.
Yeah, we're not in predictions, so yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say that you have the tautest line as far as pulling on something that far, but I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's just, my guess.
Well, I still think this is an NWA invasion, so I think Carson Drake is a reasonable guess because he is NWA.
Correct.
That is my non-predictable prediction.
The world is a masked man.
Oh, Mel predicts it's real one under the mask. That would be a lot.
How you doing? Comes out immediately.
Yep.
How you doing?
That guy was way taller. Assuming that the masked man that got away when they were having the Scooby-Doo moment.
I've been using this refined chicken grease for my hair.
Okay. And finally, Radio McRadioface asked a question about. He said that Al said something about a new championship title on Thursday. Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear that at all. Chat room, anybody else hear that or hear?
So they're saying that was on this past week's episode?
Yeah, that there was an allusion to it that Al made, I think.
I did not catch that. If that was the case, I missed it, but who knows?
I ain't that smart.
Oh, yeah. No, that was the interview from Overdrive maybe they were talking about. I don't know. That's what Mel says is maybe they were talking about the Overdrive interview where Al talked about a new title.
Because that would have been around the time that the National
would have been new.
Right.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago.
That checks out.
That may have been what Mel. Good catch there, Mel. Radio McRadioface. If you meant the Overdrive
that's your real
interview,
name.
well, obviously it's its real name. Who would if you had a name like Radio McRadioface, you would put it out there everywhere.
Ain't we running long?
We are running long. But so that actually, double check. That is my full log, gentlemen. That is all. That's what we got from the fans this week. So we want to thank the OVW fans for showing up tonight.
Where's my camera, Malachi?
Oh, one more time.
Thank you, OVW fans.
Thank you, OVW fans.
All right, we will see you next Wednesday right here in this chat. But tomorrow, catch OVW right on this channel for OVW Rise at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, on pay-per-view at ovwrestling.com, you can buy tickets or a pay-per-view for OVW Independence Rage,
and
live from Davis Arena.
Not to interrupt, I think that there is a pass on the OVW YouTube page that you can buy for pay-per-views as well. We've done that in the past.
I think there is.
Yeah,
So
I
invest,
so.
But I know you can buy the pass that'll get you the YouTube code on the OVW website.
I've definitely used that service as well.
Tuesday, if you're annoyed with paying for wrestling, you can come. The Tuesday night tradition resumes, and this time it's free.
Mm-hmm.
So come and watch. They are pre-recording OVW Rise because the Thursday is the 4th of July. So come out and do that. And then the following Thursday is OVW 1300. So a busy time for wrestling.
Not to put too fine a point on it, say I'm the only bee in your bonnet. This time is when you need to be watching OVW because there's so much going on, action-packed for the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
All peaks, no valleys, baby.
That's right.
And our feed, tomorrow morning, you can get the full interview with OVW superstar Dustin Jackson.
Please listen to that.
It is a very different interview, and it is well worth your time.
Absolutely.
Friday morning, you can get mine and Victor's coverage of OVW Overdrive that just came out last night.
That's right.
That is a weird show. We look forward to talking about it. Then Monday morning of next week, you can get our coverage of tomorrow's Rise. And then next Wednesday, when we're back here for Fan Zone Live, you can get our official breakdown of OVW Independence Rage here on this very airwaves.
All of our podcasts can be found wherever you find your podcasts. We are the OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling. My name is Jack Minot. Brian Hines. It's been a pleasure tonight.
It has.
Me or you first?
Paper, rock, scissors. Winner goes first.
Paper, rock. Why do you always call it that?
Rock, paper, scissors.
All right.
The OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. The official fan reaction talk show of Ohio Valley Wrestling is produced by Blacklight Moon Productions at Nut House Studios in Lexington, Kentucky, in association with Gladiator Sports. The OVW Podcast broadcast team is Jack Minox.
That's me.
And myself, Brian Hines. Our studio engineer and editor is Malachi P.S. Woodard. Executive producer is Tiny Brian K. Woodard.
That's me.
And senior producer for The Blimp is Victor Anderson.
He's running around here somewhere. Malachi, are we still on this camera? Give me my other camera, Malachi. On Monday morning, catch the OVW Podcast, where we break down every episode of OVW Rise. And Friday mornings, catch Tiny Brian and Victor's coverage of OVW Overdrive.
After watching wrestlers on Netflix, visit ovwpodcast.com/podcasters to find all episodes of our unofficial Wrestlers After Show.
After watching be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. I was still trying to decide which camera I was in. Be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Seriously, it helps. Rate us 5 stars. Seriously, it helps. Give us a review. We are the OVW Podcast wherever you find your podcasts.
You can also follow us at OVW Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, Threads, and
all the way to the Davis